and the man asked for 2,000 naira. Internship, kind of got into an accident and was like short of the road and broke a few bones, but she's recovering, so thank God. Just go and check the cameras to see who broke the mic or whatever, instead of blaming the poor interns. One of the reasons why I didn't like meeting her, like, don't shout at me, I'm not a goat, just talk normally. But no, I was such entitled, lazy people. Like, hello everyone and happy day. Today I am going to be taking you guys through my internship journey. I'm going to be giving a story time of my experiences during internship and also giving you some tips for if you're going to do your own internship as well. Internship was one of the weirdest experiences I've ever had in my entire education, mostly because it wasn't your typical going to school every day, and it was just going to a whole ass workplace and then just looking at what they're doing there and getting to experience the workplace life, the 9 to 5 life. So let's get started. I was a 300 level student of mass communication in the University of Benin, and so as a mass communication student you have to look for a media house to go for your internship. So I found one near where my grandma lives, and I stayed with my grandma throughout the duration of my internship. I found a broadcasting house. It was both for radio and television, and I applied. This is where the story starts from. Applying for internship. Obviously, you go to apply for internship with the form that your school or department gives you. I went there, and first thing I noticed was that the staff was very, very receptive, and they were so nice and polite, and it was so weird to me. I'm a Uniben student. I know how staff can be. I have experienced staff, non-academic, academic staff. I've experienced them all. So I know how unhappy, bitter, angry, and just snobbish that they can be. But these people were so nice, and they directed me and a friend of mine to the admin office where I can apply for the internship. And I got there. They were so nice. It was during dry season when I applied, so like the AC was so soothing. I was just so at peace with the entire place. And then I submitted the file, and then the man walked me through how to fill the form, even though I'd already filled it, but my friend didn't fill it. So yeah, he did that. And at the end of everything, I got the placement because I was one of the first to go there. Sorry if I'm talking too fast, like that's kind of, yeah. So where was I got the placement, and the man asked for 2,000 naira. This was the first red flag from this organization. Everything had been so like smooth sailing, and I wasn't suspecting anything. My friend and I just gave the man 2K. I hadn't really asked questions for people that had gone to do internship there before to ask, oh, are we supposed to pay anything? But I didn't think we were supposed to pay anything. But we didn't suspect the man. I've forgotten what he said the 2K was for, but we just gave him 2,000 naira. Later on, I got to find out from other interns that 2K was a scam. And the man collected 2,000 naira from all the interns that applied to that organization. There were more than 100 over the span of like 5 months. People were leaving, people were coming from different universities, you understand? So the man collected 2,000 naira from all of them. That's like more than his salary for 3 months that he collected from interns. He even collected 5,000 naira from some students that were not properly dressed, the girls that were not properly dressed. So he scammed us. Yeah, my first experience at the broadcasting house was a scam. So that's the first lesson. People will definitely try to take advantage from you. Over the next couple of months, as I proceeded in my internship, there was also a woman who used to stay at where we used to write attendance, and she would ask me for money, and I felt so uncomfortable about the whole thing. And I stopped signing attendance for like a week because of it. I would always tell my friend to help me sign attendance because the entire thing was so uncomfortable. Why are you asking me for money? I'm a student, like I'm managing. It's what my parents give me, I'm using. I'm not working. So the scam aside, I was posted to the radio presentation department. I wanted to go for behind the scenes to look at the editing and the camera work and the whole behind the scenes process. That's what I like, not radio presentation, but I don't really get to choose. So I was posted to radio presentation department. I didn't have much expectations from the entire organization. I was just hoping for the best. I got there on the first day. I was so excited. I got there so early, and I signed in the attendance. I located the newsroom, because that was where the person I was working with told me that they stay, before I would meet my IT supervisor, and then she would direct me to radio presentation. And I was just sitting down there. I felt so out of place. The work was boring. The place was boring. I tried to entertain myself, but I didn't want to feel like I wanted to feel useful, and I wasn't feeling useful because everybody was just watching what the people were doing, the news that they were compiling, and I was just there sitting down watching them plagiarize news from the media. But let's not talk about that. So as time progressed, a staff walked up to me, asked me if I was getting along, and I didn't lie. I said no, I wasn't getting along. I did not even want to be here anymore. Let me just go home. Let 3 o'clock reach and let me go home. So the man said, "What department are you?" I said, "Radio presentation." And then they talked among themselves and they said, "Oh, you're not supposed to be here. I know that. I'm waiting for that supervisor to come, but she hasn't come for some reason." So they found me my radio presentation department. Here's where the fun begins. I located my people, and it was so nice. I think there were like 10 to 15 girls and 1 boy. So 10 to 15, I can't remember. I know who they are, but I can't remember how many they were. So they were attending a linguistics class. That was why I couldn't find them before, aside waiting for the supervisor that never showed up, and I never saw her till like the next week. So started talking with them, and then we got called by our radio presentation supervisor to the radio studio or recording studio, whatever they call it. So we went there, and he was literally the nicest person I've ever met in my life, and the coolest adult ever. Like I literally told him, like, "You are the coolest adult I have ever met." So we met, we did introduction audios because it's radio. Introduction audios, we introduced ourselves for 30 seconds each, and then we read news bits, like just for practice and just to start the whole process off. It was very slow at the beginning, just doing 1 or 2 things before we got to know each other better, our strengths and weaknesses alike. So we did some news bits. I'm really good at that kind of stuff. I'm really good at reading, so I obviously stood out at the first instance. So we introduced ourselves, read some news bits, he took our recordings down, got to know us, and that was that for the first day. I think it was a very good first day. The staff was very welcoming and friendly, and it was a very good first impression of the entire establishment. I didn't have any expectations at all for the internship, like I'm sure I've said that before, but one of the first things I noticed was how cold the place was. I know I just said that the AC was very nice because it was dry season, but when I applied, it was dry season. When I started the internship, it was rainy season. Everywhere was already cold enough. It was raining literally every day, so the air conditioning was overwhelming. I wore a sweater because I live with my grandma, so obviously should make me wear a sweater, carry an umbrella, wear appropriate shoes, wear an appropriate outfit. She was a lot. So I would wear a vest. I would wear my actual clothes, wear a vest, wear a sweater on top, and I would still be cold. And at a point, I kind of got really stressed out by the cold. I would get so weak and tired, and it felt like my bones were just so weak, and I couldn't be as functional anymore. But the thing is, it wasn't happening when I was at work. It would happen when I got home. I would just start feeling tired, and I think I got sick for a while because of the air conditioning. So if I could take a blanket to work, I would. The air conditioning was a lot. It was a whole lot. Another thing was that I was not financially prepared for the internship life. I think it was transportation. I have never had to take transportation to school in my entire life. My house at school is literally like a 10-minute walk from the campus itself. I stay off campus, so it's not that long a walk. I don't even think there's transport available. I think there's keke napep, but I've never taken that to school, not once. I always walk to school. So transportation was it was something. It was really hectic, and I would have to buy food because I'm not a morning person. I can't wake up by 6 a.m. I used to wake up by 6 a.m. I can't wake up by like 5:30 to like whip up something to eat and then go to work from there. So I would buy food. The food was delicious. But it was money consuming. So the money, I was not financially prepared for that internship. So if you're going for internship, have money. put money you have. It depends on where you're doing the internship. If you're traveling to do the internship, if you're paying for rent, if you are going to be buying food and all sorts. But it's good for you to have money because it's very different from your school life. Yeah, so I wasn't financially prepared for internship at all. Another thing I had difficulty with, because I'm not a morning person, is waking up early. I literally had to wake up 6 o'clock every day, 6 a.m. every day to get to our neighbor's house. He was the one that was taking me to work. He was a godsend in my life. I don't know how difficult it would be to get to the broadcasting station if I didn't have him taking me to work every day. So as he's taking his children to school, because the road in my grandma's house is very bad, unhealthy, it can kill you type stuff, very bad. And it was rainy season. I'm having nightmares just thinking about it. It was rainy season, the roads were terrible, so you will not even find keke napep early in the morning before you now take another bus that will take you to the broadcasting station. So he was really a godsend for me. At the end of my internship, I kind of got into an accident and was like short of the road and broke a few bones, but he's recovering, so thank God. Yeah, so waking up by 6 a.m. wasn't easy at all. In normal school, I also have issues with that, where I would just stay at home because I couldn't be bothered to get up from my bed and get ready and go to school. If I didn't have an accountability partner, which is my grandma, I would not have been as diligent and frequent as I was at my broadcasting station. So basically, I would wake up at 6 a.m. and I would be wondering, can I get up today? Should I get up? But then I would remember that in another 30 minutes, my grandma would wake up, because she wakes up very early. She would wake up and she would barge into my room and she would ask me why I am not getting ready to go for my internship. And then I did not want to think about how I would respond to her. So that would motivate me to get up. Like that, she was my accountability partner. Like, I don't want to have to tell you why I'm not getting up, so I would just get up. So accountability partner, necessary for success. Back to the internship itself, radio presentation was very healthy. There were so many nice people. I was learning a lot. I got to go on air because of how good I was, read news bits because of how good I was and how interested I was. And I also learned how to use Adobe Audition to edit voice, edit audio. I would record promos for different shows on the station. My voice was literally everywhere in that station. I don't mean to brag, but my voice was on most of those sweepers and promos. And we also created a show. The interns created a show, Gen Z Corner. It's still on currently. Like, we were retained for the show. Like, you guys keep on coming. It's actually gaining listenership. We want to hear more of you on our show. So we are still going to the show presently, even though we are done with our internship. And we also started a TikTok account for the broadcasting station, where we'd post, like, promotional funny stuff, not the hard news that was posted on their actual TikTok handle, but basically entertainment and light-hearted stuff. So we were running that as well, and we got to go on different events. We got to go out and do Vox Pop. It was so interesting. It was so healthy. It was so nice. It was a dream. Like, we only had to go 3 times a week, but I would go 4 times a week because I loved it that much. The staff were also so nice. I got along with almost everybody in that radio presentation, aside engineering. They didn't really like the interns. They were always trying to blame us for one thing or the other. If anything happened, they'll be like, "Oh, it's the interns. It's the interns. In fact, it's that one over there." I wasn't blamed, but there were literally cameras in the office. So why don't you just go and check the cameras to see who broke the mic or whatever, instead of blaming the poor interns? So they were always looking for who to blame, and we were just right there to be blamed for it. So engineering didn't like us and we didn't like them either. But I still learned what was happening in the engineering department because I was everywhere. So for the skills I gained voiceover skills. I already had them, but I think I built on them. I gained the ability to think on my feet. I'm someone that doesn't like improvisation. I don't like being caught unawares. Like, I want to plan ahead, be prepared, thoroughly prepared. And even before I go and speak to, like, the people or do the presentation, I'm still panicked, like, oh my God, what if I make a mistake? But now I can just think on my feet and just answer a question directly. So I think that's what you get by being on air so much. Someone just asks you a question and then you just answer from your mind. it's so refreshing to see that I can do that now. I wasn't able to do that before. In 100 level sociology presentation, my throat actually got stuck in front of the entire class, one of the most embarrassing moments in my entire academic journey. So to do that is just, yes, this is what I was born to do. I have arrived. Another thing that I learned during internship is that not everybody that studies a course is going to end up using that course. Most of the people that I met at the broadcasting station, they didn't even study mass communication, and they were the best of the best. Even the MD himself studied philosophy, and he's the managing director and also a broadcaster in a broadcasting media house. Even my supervisor that I mentioned was the coolest guy in the world. He actually didn't study mass communication. He studied a science subject, electrical engineering. So yeah, you're probably not going to use that degree, but do your best at it anyways. I want to use my own degree, Sha. What do I don't know. I don't have plans for the future. Let me just stop thinking about it before I spiral into oblivion. So another thing I learned is that you can make mistakes. It's not, just make mistakes and continue, and just correct yourself and just continue. And I also learned how to edit audio. Said that before, but yeah, it seems like such a complicated software, but when you just get to put it in your mind that you want to learn this thing, you can just learn it. And it was so refreshing. Everything is just so refreshing to me now that I think about it. I want to go back, but no, I don't have money. So about school and real life, I learned that there is a sharp contrast between the two. Between your school and your 9 to 5, there's a sharp contrast, because at school you can decide if you want to go or not, but at work you're not going to get paid. You're going to get fired if you don't go. It's also a strict time. In school you can have 2 p.m. classes, but no, for work you have for work you can also run a shift, but you can run a shift, yeah, but as an intern mine was 9 to 3, but I was doing 8 to 4. Let's just say on average 8 to 4, although I'll sometimes leave before 4 or stay till 5 something. I think I could handle a 9 to 5. I think I could handle a 9 to 5. Yeah, because I just think that it depends on your proximity to your workplace, because I feel like the transportation is the most stressful part of it. The times where the person I was following wasn't able to take me, I literally suffered because of the bad road, and you have to take like 2 modes of transportation to get to where you're going. So I can't imagine people that are coming from farther. They find it definitely difficult. Even though they love their job, transportation is still going to be very hectic. So that I feel like your ability to adapt to your workspace depends largely on the distance from your workplace to your house. I just wish it was a stone throw, so I can just trek and just trek and come back and not have to spend too much money on transportation, and get there super early and then go back home easily and then be productive at home too, because I was always sleeping at home because of the air conditioning and the fatigue. I was always sleeping at home, and my grandma was like, nah, you can't be doing this shit. And she told my mom. My mom was saying, oh, you're sleeping too much, blah blah blah. Please. The small benefits was free Wi-Fi, nice conversation, learned new things. That free Wi-Fi, I'm going back to it because I was able to download movies. I downloaded Dexter, I downloaded Poldark. I downloaded so many seasonal movies because I mainly watch seasonal films. So it was like really nice until they cut us off the Wi-Fi. But I already was done with IT when we were cut off, and now I've snuck in their new password, and I'm going to keep on using it, and there's nothing I can do about it except they cut me off personally. So after a month and a half, I had to change to another department within the broadcasting house. I mentioned to you that it was television and radio. There's a lot of departments. So I was changed from radio presentation by force to newsroom. So I had to go to radio newsroom from radio presentation. It was basically an office where they sit and they collate news that the radio presentation reads. So I present rather. So we're taken by force. My supervisor, tried to retain a few of us, 4 of us, me and 3 others that were, really active and helping out, and he tried to retain us, but he didn't want any issues with the IT supervisor, so he just decided to leave us and let us go. So we went there. It was so boring, repetitive, formal. The staff were gloomy and they were entitled. They wanted us to do all their work for them. And then my fellow IT students, my fellow interns from other schools, they were just something else. Such entitled, lazy people. Like, so the bulk of the work fell on us serious students that wanted to do the job. So we gotta do it. It was basically sourcing for news online from other websites that have posted some news, checking it for verifying it, and then editing it into the editorial policy of the broadcasting house, and then sending it to another person, the head of radio newsroom, to just edit it small and then put his or her name that, oh, I'm the one that did this news. Even though we are the ones that source for the news, but I mean, who are we? We're just interns, right? Unpaid labor. Yeah, I agree. So I didn't like radio newsroom at all. Radio newsroom was boring, and then the staff, they were so lazy. They wanted us to do all the work for them. I think it's basically their benefits. We have interns now, let them do the work. It's not difficult. So they teach some people. I wasn't taught because we arrived late because our supervisor was trying to retain us. But yeah, let them do the work instead. Let them do it. So it was very boring, and I didn't like the place at all. So the setup was that in one office there was television newsroom and radio newsroom. It was demarcated, but it was in the same office. So I didn't want, after 1 month, I would finish from radio newsroom and then be sent to television newsroom, because it's basically, I think television newsroom is even worse, because the staff there just leave it for the interns to be doing, and they're just always berating the interns that, you know, come late and are sitting by the side and not really doing anything, because we are so much. So I thought, nobody's going to miss me if I leave this place, because we are so much that they can't even cater for all of us. Newsroom is always stuffy, even with the AC. So I decided to go and learn what they are doing in radio television newsroom. So I went radio television newsroom in television newsroom. So I went there for 2 days. I learned all that they were doing. At the end of a month and 2 weeks, I went to our IT supervisor, and I told her, ma'am, I have completed my stay here. I need to be moved to another department. So she looked at my logbook. She was always unsatisfied about my logbook, the way I filled it, the way I drew, the fact that I was coming 4 times a week, the fact that my supervisor tried to retain me at radio presentation. So she just didn't like me. It was just a whole lot of BS. And she was always raising her voice at other interns. One of the reasons why I didn't like meeting her, like, don't shout at me, I'm not a goat, just talk normally. But no, she would always start shouting. And I told her, ma'am, I need to leave this place now because I'm done. 1 month and 2 weeks done. I even learned here. You know, you'll be proud of me and shit. But she said, who sent you? Why did you learn? Why did I learn what exactly? We are in the same radio or newsroom. Like, it's literally the same office. What do you mean, why did I learn? So at the end of the day, she didn't post me to any other departments. I just went back to radio presentation because I wasn't going to stay there if she wasn't moving me to another department, like editing. I think it was the editing studio that was left for me, and then television itself. But I don't think anybody actually did in television because it's a very sensitive unit. So basically, I hated my stay in the newsroom, but I was able to use more free Wi-Fi, download movies, and learn some more things. So yeah, aside the humiliation ritual from the staff, like stop shouting. So that is me and my internship. Here's a recap of the tips that I gave for the internship. Always be careful during your application process. Don't let yourself get scammed like me. I didn't even give you guys a resolution of the entire scam segue. So the man, I think word spread among the interns that, oh, I paid 2K. Oh, me too. Really? You did? 5K. Oh, what? You did? And then we put it together that it was a scam and we were not actually supposed to pay that money. So word got to the managing director. I don't know if he asked one of the interns or it just came up during a conversation with some interns, but he got to find out. And Mr. Ben from admin, we haven't seen him in a while. I wonder what may have happened to him. Fired. But that's that about that. Just don't scam children. Second tip is to prepare financially for your internship. Prepare your money down. Just prepare your money so that you can be comfortable. Transportation matters a lot. If you can find someone to take you to your location, go ahead, find someone. But yeah, I think the most important tip is for you to just be serious and diligent, because if I wasn't serious, then I wouldn't have been noticed enough for me to be retained for a show and so known, and for my voice to be so used in the radio presentation for promos and shows and such. So yeah, you should definitely be serious with your work. Have an accountability partner. Go stay with your grandma. She will be your accountability partner. She will wake you up every morning and make sure that you find yourself at your broadcasting at your place of internship, basically. She actually tried a lot for me, even though it was so hectic staying with her because she was always in my business. That's how grandmas are. And it was grandma, grandma's sister, grandpa, grandma's sister's husband. So you can understand, like I had to live there for my sanity, but they are really lovely people. They're just overbearing much. She even wanted to be making, noodles or, making provisions the night before. And she did actually sometimes, but I was like, I'm an adult, don't do that. No. So yeah, I bought food. But having an accountability partner is very important. Environment affects productivity. If you're in a place where the staff are snobbish, you're probably going to be so lazy and unmotivated. But just try your possible best to, because people will be people. Nigeria is frustrating everybody. So just try your best to know why you're there and just do your thing. So my supervisor came and I just stopped going after a while. I was done with my internship. Don't be afraid to try new departments, even though it was a shit show for me, but it might be better for you. You might meet new people, be open to new opportunities, and just stand out in your own way, basically. And also, confidence grows with practice. I am a living example of that. Like, with practice, you just don't need to think too much anymore to know what to say. Before, I wouldn't have been able to make a video this long because I would be thinking what next to say. I want to write every single thing down and then just be reading it out, but it wouldn't sound as genuine and natural and interesting. What's burning? Madu. So, yeah, be confident because the sky is your limit. So that is it for my internship journey. I really loved it. I loved it so much. And I'm really glad. I'm really glad that I chose my current discipline, current study, because I love it so much. And I'm glad that I chose that organization to do my internship at. I really enjoyed my stay there. And this is my internship story. Till we meet again, happy holidays, happy day. Enjoy. Bye bye.